Today's episode of Aquatic Wetline is brought to you by Oasis Aquatics. Find your Oasis today. Find your next fish at oasisaquaticsnj.com. Check out Oasis Aquatics on Facebook and Instagram.
Welcome to Friday Live with Aqua Alex Cardinale. Friday Live with Aqua Alex is a fish-keeping live stream that offers something for every fish keeper. At least 3 different species of fish will be discussed. There will be a special fish-keeping guest, and so much more. Friday Live is proudly brought to you by Oasis Aquatics. Find your Oasis today by going to oasisaquaticsnewjersey.com.
Every Friday night.
What better way to rock than this?
Hey, can you turn that down? Never!
Don't see that every day.
Hello, tropical fish keepers! Welcome to a special Sunday edition of Friday Live. Welcome to Sunday Live with Aqua Alex Cardinale. I have an action-packed show coming your way this evening. Tonight on Sunday Live with Aqua Alex, for the first time ever, there will be 2 special guests. Our first special guest is a mystery guest. Who will this mystery fish keeper be? Our second guest will be Jeremy Leighty, who will be here tonight to talk about Jeremy Leighty will be here to talk about Dovii cichlids, aka wolf cichlids, and Jeremy will answer viewer questions. Aqua Alex's featured fish will be the green Terror Cichlid. The South American fish is the Granulated Catfish. The saltwater fish is the flame hawkfish. I'll be talking about fish that live in both freshwater and saltwater, my top 5 Asian and African fish, and a whole lot more, including Imperial Tropicals as our featured fish store. We have a loaded show, so let's go ahead and get started. And let's start with Aqua Alex Asks You. I got a couple of questions that I'm asking you, the fish keepers, and you can go ahead and post your answers in the comments down below. So here are the questions that I'm asking you tonight. What are some of your favorite cichlids? Because tonight, Aqua Alexa is going to have some wonderful information on cichlids. We're going to learn about cichlids from all over the world tonight, and we're going to learn about cichlids in general. So, viewers, what are some of your favorite cichlids? What are some of your favorite fish from Africa and Asia? And how have you enjoyed Friday Live with Aqua Alex? Post your answers in the comments, as well as any questions you have for Aqua Alex. I will answer them on the show. So let's start the show with me answering these questions while I wait for your answers and your questions. What are some of my favorite cichlids? Well, some of my favorite cichlids I have currently. My favorite cichlids would be Oscars, Parachromis maniguense, Jaguar cichlids, Severums, Red Devils, My Devils, Trimax. I also love pike cichlids. I also like Waru, angelfish, discus. So I have a lot of love for a lot of cichlids. I also like Salvinis, Jack Dempseys, and firemouths. My favorite fish from Africa would be Pterodoras, bikers, lungfish, African cichlids like the Frontosa from Tanganyika, the Malawi eyebiter, the Malawi gar, and the Malawi hawk. My favorite fish from Asia would be tinfoil barbs, bala sharks, and datnoids. But tonight I'm going to talk about my top 5 favorite fish from Africa and Asia. And how have I, the host of Friday Live with Aqua Alex, enjoyed the show? I have a blast each and every Friday, and on special occasions such as tonight, we do Sunday Live. I really enjoy hosting Sunday Live and Friday Live, the fish keeping version of Saturday Live. I have a blast. So hopefully you, my viewers, have a blast as well. So go ahead and post your answers to those questions in the comments, and post your questions in the comments down below. All right, we're going to kick off with Oasis Aquatics featured fish. And this week's Oasis Aquatics featured fish is a beautiful cichlid from Madagascar, the Paratilapia Polini, aka the Starry Night Cichlid.
So my name is Tom. I started fish keeping when my grandfather dug a fish tank out of the attic when I was about 5 years old.
So my name's Matt. I'm part of Oasis Aquatics. Been doing this for a long time. Started when I was about 7 years old. 22 years of doing this business.
I'm 29 years old now. I never stopped. There wasn't a day in between where I did not think about fish keeping.
I was doing a vet tech job for many years. Eventually I stopped that because this is my passion in my life.
Matt and I have known each other far too long, as many friendships should be.
You're like, you know what? We need a fish store. There's no fish stores around here. So we had to make it easy access for everyone, to have many varieties from the little small stuff for everyone to the monster fish keeper people.
No matter what it is that you're looking to do, we can provide it for you.
This week's featured fish from the Oasis Aquatics stock list is a very pretty black and white cichlid from Africa. It is from Madagascar. It is one of the most popular Madagascar cichlids. It is the Starry Night Cichlid, aka Paratilapia polini. I call it the Starry Night Cichlid, a very beautiful fish. If you're looking for a Starry Night Cichlid, Oasis Aquatics has them in stock right now. Just go to oasisaquaticsnj.com to take a look at the full stock list and purchase your Starry Night Cichlid. Don't forget to enter the Oasis Aquatics giveaway by making a purchase. You'll be entered and you'll have the chance to win $100 in store credit. But right now, let's learn about this week's featured fish, the Starry Night Cichlid, a very beautiful fish. It is a beautiful and striking fish. The Starry Night Cichlid, Paratilapia polini, is notable for its dark black coloration with iridescent blue spots. These cichlids can grow up to 11.5 inches, 11.5 inches, and they are native to Madagascar, making them a prized fish among freshwater aquarists. The Starry Night Cichlid tends to be aggressive and will thrive best with tank mates similar in size and aggression. Starry Night Cichlids are a medium-sized cichlid endemic to Madagascar. It is also a popular fish for display at public aquariums, and it's popular in aquarium hobby. A lot of cichlid keepers love the Starry Night Cichlid. Adult and subadult dominant Starry Night Cichlids are jet black in color, covered with brilliant iridescent spots, which shift from golden to blue depending on the movement of the fish and the angle of the light. The eye is a bright yellow. The male can reach almost 11 inches in length. Females are usually half that length. Sexing individuals thus becomes easier as they mature. In addition, males tend to have longer and sharper pelvic fins, a more rounded head shape, and the edges of the dorsal and anal fins are often straighter in males and more rounded in females. Among aquarists, females, though smaller, are said to be more beautiful in their coloration pattern. It is an omnivorous fish and occasional opportunistic fishivore, approaching smaller, unsuspecting fish by stealth, with their dark coloration giving them an advantage. The Pellini cichlid, observed hunting in the aquarium environment, will sneak up on smaller fish from below during the pre-dawn hours and suck the smaller fish into its mouth using the typical cichlid suction effect caused by quickly opening its mouth. And that is this week's featured Oasis Aquatics fish. Check out oasisaquaticsnj.com for the full stock list. And that is Oasis Aquatics featured fish. You know, the Starry Night Cichlid is actually very beautiful. I have to get one. I have to get a Starry Night Cichlid in the future because I definitely want one. Well, let's welcome the beautiful and the sexy Aqua Alexa to the show. And right now, Aqua Alexa has some wonderful facts on cichlids. Let's learn about cichlids, shall we?
Aqua Alexa here. I will be discussing cichlids today. Let's learn about cichlids. Cichlids are a very large, diverse group of fish found worldwide. This family is large, diverse, and widely dispersed. At least 1,650 species have been scientifically described, making it one of the largest vertebrate families. New species are discovered annually, and many species remain undescribed. The actual number of species is therefore unknown, with estimates varying between 2,000 and 3,000. Many cichlids, particularly tilapia, are important food fishes, while others, such as the cichla species, are valued game fish. The family also includes many popular freshwater aquarium fish kept by hobbyists, including the angelfish, Oscars, and discus. Cichlids have the largest number of endangered species among vertebrate families, most in the haplochromine group. Cichlids are particularly well known for having evolved rapidly into many closely related but morphologically diverse species within large lakes, particularly Lakes Tanganyika, Victoria, Malawi, and Edward. Their diversity in the African Great Lakes is important for the study of speciation in evolution. Many cichlids introduced into waters outside of their natural range have become nuisances. Cichlids span a wide range of body sizes, from species as small as 2.5 centimeters, 1 inch, in length, e.g., female Neolamprologus multifasciatus, to much larger species approaching 1 meter, 3 feet, in length, Boulangerochromis and Cichla. As a group, cichlids exhibit a similar diversity of body shapes, ranging from strongly laterally compressed species, such as Altalamprologus, Pterophyllum, and Symphysodon, to species that are cylindrical and highly elongated, such as Juliochromis, Teleogramma, Teleocichla, Crenicichla, and Gobiacichla. Generally, however, cichlids tend to be of medium size, ovate in shape, and slightly laterally compressed, and generally similar to the North American sunfishes in morphology, behavior, and ecology. Cichlids are one of the largest vertebrate families in the world. They are most diverse in Africa and South America. Africa alone is host to at least an estimated 1,600 species. Central America and Mexico have about 120 species, as far north as the Rio Grande in South Texas. Madagascar has its own distinctive species, Catria, Oxalapia, Paratilapia, Paretroplus, Tychochromis, and Tychochromoides, only distantly related to those on the African mainland. Although most cichlids are found at relatively shallow depths, several exceptions do exist. The deepest known occurrences are Trematocara at more than 300 meters, 1,000 feet, below the surface in Lake Tanganyika. Cichlids are less commonly found in brackish and saltwater habitats, though many species tolerate brackish water for extended periods. Myaheros euryphthalmus, for example, is equally at home in freshwater marshes and mangrove swamps, and lives and breeds in saltwater environments such as the mangrove belts around barrier islands. Within the cichlid family, carnivores, herbivores, omnivores, planktivores, and detritivores are known, meaning the cichlidae encompass essentially the full range of food consumption possible in the animal kingdom. Various species have morphological adaptations for specific food sources, but most cichlids consume a wider variety of foods based on availability. Carnivorous cichlids can be further divided into piscivorous and molluscivorous, since the morphology and hunting behavior differ greatly between the two categories. Piscivorous cichlids eat other fish, fry, larvae, and eggs. Some species eat the offspring of mouthbrooders by head ramming, wherein the hunter shoves its head into the mouth of a female to expel her young and eat them. Many cichlids are primarily herbivores, feeding on algae, e.g. Petrochromis, and plants, e.g. Etroplus suritensis. Small animals, particularly invertebrates, are only a minor part of their diets. Other cichlids are predatory and eat little or no plant matter. These include generalists that catch a variety of small animals, including other fishes and insect larvae, e.g. Pterophyllum, as well as variety of specialists. Aggressive behavior in cichlids is ritualized and consists of multiple displays used to seek confrontation while being involved in evaluation of competitors, coinciding with temporal proximity to mating. Displays of ritualized aggression in cichlids include a remarkably rapid change in coloration, during which a successfully dominant territorial male assumes a more vivid and brighter coloration, while a subordinate or non-territorial male assumes a dull pale coloration. In addition to color displays, cichlids employ their lateral lines to sense movements of water around their opponents to evaluate the competing male for physical traits, fitness. Male cichlids are very territorial due to the pressure of reproduction, and establish their territory and social status by physically driving out challenging males, novel intruders, through lateral displays, parallel orientation, uncovering gills, biting or mouth fights, head-on collisions of open mouths, measuring jaw sizes, and biting each other's jaws. Since 1945, cichlids have become increasingly popular as aquarium fish. The most common species in hobbyist aquaria is Pterophyllum scalaire from the Amazon River basin in tropical South America, known in the trade as the angelfish. Other popular or readily available species include the oscar, Astronotus ocellatus, convict cichlid, Archocentris nigrofasciatus, and discus fish, Symphocedon. Some cichlids readily hybridize with related species, both in the wild and under artificial conditions. The most common aquarium hybrid is perhaps the blood parrot cichlid, which is a cross of several species, especially from species in the genus Amphilopas. There are many hypotheses, but the most likely is Amphilopas labiatus times Vieja synspilus with a triangular-shaped mouth, an abnormal spine, and an occasionally missing caudal fin, known as the love heart parrot cichlid. The fish is controversial among aquarists. Some have called blood parrot cichlids the Frankenstein monster of the fish world. Another notable hybrid, the flowerhorn cichlid, was very popular in some parts of Asia from 2001 until late 2003, and is believed to bring good luck to its owner. The popularity of the flowerhorn cichlid declined in 2004. That's all my information on cichlids. Next week let's discuss catfish.
Thank you, Aqua Alexa, for the amazing information on cichlids. And now it is time for this week's featured fish. It is time for this week's Aqua Alex featured fish, which is the beautiful green Terror Cichlid. It's time for Aqua Alex's featured fish here on Sunday Live with Aqua Alex. This week I am featuring one of my favorite South American cichlids. It is a South American cichlid with a minor temper. Despite having a name Terror, it's not really a terror compared to Central American cichlids. This week I am featuring the green Terror Cichlid, also known as the Som Cichlid, the gold Som Cichlid, or the white Som Cichlid. I love the green Terror, so let's learn about the green Terror right now. It is a colorful freshwater fish in the cichlid family. The fish originates from the Pacific side of South America, from the Tumbes River in Peru to the Esmeraldas River in Ecuador. It is polymorphic and can have white or gold-orange edging to the tail and dorsal fins. For those that have white edging, they are known as the white Som green Terror. And those that have the gold or orange edging, which are my favorite, by the way, are known as the gold Som. Male Som green Terrors grow larger than females and may reach lengths of up to 12 inches. So males can get up to 12 inches, while females generally max out at around 6 to 8 inches. So males up to 12, females up to 8. Females are sexually mature at around 4.7 inches. As the name implies, late juvenile phase and adult phase specimens can be aggressive. This is not guaranteed, however, and peaceful individuals can be observed in the aquarium hobby. Juveniles of green terrors are often sold in aquarium stores. They are a popular fish in the aquarium hobby, and they are noted for their hardiness as well as their aesthetic appeal. They definitely are a very attractive South American cichlid. The fish may grow up to 12 inches in length, though 6 to 8 inches are more typical. The green terror cichlid is simple to keep in the aquarium hobby. They will eat practically anything. You can feed them market shrimp, tilapia, earthworms, pellets, flakes, brine shrimp, bloodworms, and more. Keep them with other South American cichlids like Oscars, Severums, Geophagus, etc. They could probably do well with fire mouths, Jack Dempsey's, and other docile Central American cichlids like the Nicaraguan cichlid and the rainbow cichlid. I am Aqua Alex, and I hope you enjoyed learning about the green terror cichlid, aka the white Som or gold Som cichlid. I hope to get a green terror cichlid again in the future. So far, we learned about 2 of the 4 fish species we're going to learn about tonight. So far, we learned about the Starry Night Cichlid, which was our Oasis Aquatics featured fish. And we just learned about the Green Terror Cichlid. Still to come tonight, we're going to learn about the Granulosis catfish. And then we're going to learn about the Flame Hawkfish as our saltwater featured fish. But this is the very first Sunday Live of August, and August is going to be a great month for me personally because I have a lot of great things happening this month, including my birthday. But something else that I am very excited about for August is that I'm going to be a special guest on another wonderful Fish Keeping YouTubers channel. Check it out and be sure to tune in 2 weeks.
Alex's birthday weekend just got bigger and better. For the first time in years, Alex Cardinale has been invited to be a special guest on another YouTube channel and he has graciously accepted. Live Sunday, August 18, 2024, at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, Alex Cardinale will be the special guest on Happy Place Aquatics YouTube channel. Be sure to check out and subscribe to Happy Place Aquatics YouTube channel to see Jim's amazing fish keeping content and all his great live streams. What will Alex and Jim discuss? Be sure to tune in and find out. Live Sunday, August 18, 2024, at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific on Happy Place Aquatics YouTube channel.
That's right, on Sunday, August 18th at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, I will be a special guest on Happy Place Aquatics YouTube channel. I am very much looking forward to that. All right, right now we're going to get to our first topic tonight here on Sunday Live with Aqua Alex. And right now I want to talk about the fish species available in the aquarium hobby that can live in both freshwater and saltwater. So here are some fish species that are commonly available in the aquarium hobby that can survive and adapt to live in both freshwater and saltwater. The first fish species that can do that is a species of catfish known as the Colombian shark catfish or the black tip catfish. This is a very cool catfish that does indeed come from Colombia in South America. It is a large growing catfish that is capable of reaching about a foot in length. And they can start out living in freshwater, but as they mature, as they get about 5 to 6 inches, then they need to be moved to brackish water. And as they get larger, they can even be adjusted to living in full marine conditions. So I think that's pretty cool for the Colombian shark. Mollies. Mollies are one of the live bearers that can start out in freshwater and eventually move into brackish water or even full marine conditions. Mollies, however, are much different than Colombian sharks because there is no size requirement for them to live in either fresh or saltwater. They can be adjusted to freshwater or saltwater at any size and any stage of their life. So mollies are a great fish that I recommend new saltwater hobbyists cycle their saltwater aquarium with because they're very, very hardy. There's also a freshwater goby or a goby that is sold in freshwater known as the dragon goby or sometimes known as the violet goby or the violet eel. This is actually a true brackish water fish, but it can, for a little while, thrive in freshwater, but eventually it needs to be moved over to brackish. But it can also be adjusted to full marine conditions. But if you're going to move your dragon goby or your violet goby into full marine conditions, you need to do so very carefully and very slowly so it can adjust to the different surroundings and the different salinity levels. And then, of course, you have your puffer fish. There are a plethora of puffers that start off in freshwater but need to be moved into brackish or full marine. These puffers include things like the figure 8 puffer and the green spotted puffer fish. And then you have your monos and your archer fish and your scats. So those are all the fish that can live in both freshwater and saltwater. Colombian sharks, mollies, dragon gobies, puffer fish, monos, archer fish, and scats. Very, very cool. Well, as I said at the beginning of today's show, tonight, for the first time ever, we have 2 amazing special guest fish keepers. Right now, it is time to welcome our mystery surprise special guest. And it is no longer a mystery. It is no longer a surprise. We are traveling back 4 years ago. We're traveling back to 2020 when my personal friend and fish keeper Matt Thibodeau interviewed me on my YouTube channel. So our mystery guest is Matt Thibodeau from 2020. Let's check out that wonderful interview that he and I had.
Thibodeau, welcome. In today's video, we are going to be taking a closer look into Alex's interest when it comes to the topic of fish keeping. I am going to be asking him some of your burning questions and also some of my own in this very special interview with Alex episode. So let's get started.
Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. That's right, today I'll be doing a question and answer. This is going to be my first question and answer in many years, and I'm looking forward to it. My good friend Matt has some wonderful questions for me. I'm going to be doing this on a frequent basis, so stay tuned for some other awesome Q&As with my friends and fish keepers that I know. So without further ado, let's get started.
Alright, hi Alex, how's it going? The first question is going to be, based on your many years keeping fish, what has been your all-time favorite fish to keep?
That's a tough question, Matt, but also a good question. Now, in all my years of fish keeping, and I've been keeping fish for a long time, since I was a young kid, but I had my first aquarium when I was 12. But one fish that I always seem to be interested in keeping and love keeping is the Oscar cichlid. Oscars are a fish that are very personable, and they have a lot of coloration to them, and they're like water puppies. They love to eat. So Oscar cichlids are one that I really love. Another fish that I really love is catfish. And one of my personal favorite catfish species is the tiger shovelnose. And then finally, silver arowana, the water monkey, aka the dragonfish. It's the only arowana that is popular in the aquarium hobby here in the United States of America, and it's one of my personal favorites.
Alright, nice. Question number 2. What is your dream fish? If you can pick any fish in the world that you can keep, what would it be? Saltwater, freshwater, just any kind of fish. What would your dream fish be?
Nice question. So for my dream fish, it's going to be a dream fish that a lot of fish keepers want in the United States. Fish keepers in the United States have been dreaming about this fish for many years. The Asian arowana. That's a beautiful fish and a fish I hope to keep in the future. Also, the black arowana is another dream fish of mine. So those are my dream fish. For saltwater, I would say clown trigger and a magnificent fox-faced rabbitfish.
Yes, I definitely agree with that one. Very cool choice. Question number 3. Being that you live in West Palm Beach, Florida, I'm sure that you have a lot of listeners that are local to you. Can you give the viewers a couple of your favorite local fish stores that you would recommend to people if they were in the area or if they were to visit the area and want to see a really nice and also well-kept fish store?
That is actually a great question because I like supporting locally owned tropical fish stores, and I'm a big believer in supporting small businesses, so I really appreciate that question. Now, in West Palm Beach, we actually don't have that many fish stores to my knowledge, but one that I really enjoy is in Green Acres, Florida, Lake Worth Road. It ain't far from me at all. It's about 20 minutes at most. It's called Mark's Ark, and they have a lot of beautiful fish. They have the bread and butter fish like your tetras, your mollies, your platies, live bearers, Oscars, and things like that. But they also stock a lot of rare fish like silver arowanas, false trigonous catfish, also known as the Durant's catfish, and things like that. They have a big monster display tank with fish you can buy. And also they have a lot of saltwater aquariums with saltwater fish for sale. A lot of the Florida fish keepers that have YouTube channels go to Mark's Ark sometimes, like Paul Cafaro, like Nick Bingo, and also Luke Dombrowski. So that's a popular store. Mark's Ark is a very nice fish store. Now, if you go an hour away, I'd say it's about an hour away, it might be a little less, in Boca Raton, there's one of my absolute favorite fish stores, and that is called Malone's Monsters. There's a wide variety of predatory fish there. He has a couple of ponds with beautiful fish. You can find fish like arowanas, pufferfish, all the exotic monster fish. He's a great guy, great prices. I've only been there once, but I always want to go back. Every time I make a plan to go back, something happens. Like this coronavirus. I was supposed to go, but the coronavirus happened. But I will be going there in the future. I'm actually planning an order for next week because I like Malone's Monsters. So Mark's Ark and Malone's Monsters are the fish stores that I personally recommend that people check out here in South Florida, Palm Beach County.
Alright, so there you guys go. You heard it. If you are local to the West Palm Beach area, or if you guys are just visiting and are in the fish hobby, those are obviously some cool places that you can check out. They are now Aqua Alex approved. Alright, so question number 4. Obviously, we talked about this a little bit on your Season 3 podcast premiere, but I want to just touch this topic again briefly. Obviously, we all know that you want to start a saltwater tank in the near future. So what kind of fish are you looking to start off with? What size tank are you looking to start off with? Are there any fish in particular that you are looking to get when you start this saltwater tank?
That's one of the questions I was looking forward to you asking. I'm really excited to say that I'll be back in the saltwater hobby eventually, hopefully sometime this year, once all this coronavirus dies down. Now, for tank size, I'm thinking I'm starting off at 75 gallons and working my way up to a larger tank. Saltwater is a lot of work, but it's not difficult as many people make it out to be. It just takes a little bit more time and a little bit more effort, but it's a very fun thing if you enjoy a beautiful aquarium. Now, I'm going to do a saltwater fish only with live rock system. It's going to be a predatory aquarium, and one fish in particular that I'm definitely going to be getting is a dog-faced puffer. I love dog-faced puffers. They're a beautiful fish. They have a lot of personality, and they're a fish that I really enjoy. I'm also going to be getting a Niger trigger. I love the Niger trigger. And I'm going to try to make a pair of gold striped maroon clownfish. They're the most beautiful clownfish out there, and I think that a lot of people underestimate the true coloration of maroon clownfish. They're also one of the biggest clownfish as well, so that's my biggest appeal to them besides their color. So I know that maroon clownfish are tough to pair up. You can usually only have one, but I want to try to have a pair of gold striped maroon clowns, or maybe one gold stripe and one white stripe maroon clown. I also want some moray eels. The snowflake moray eel is beautiful. And then I also want some fox-faced rabbitfish. They're nice as well.
That's awesome. All right, and last but
Alrighty, so that was our first of 2 special guests tonight. It was great reliving my interview with my personal friend, Matt Thibodeau from Springfield, Massachusetts. And on Sunday, August 17th, edition of Sunday Live, which will be the last Sunday Live for a little while, we're also going to have 2 special guest fish keepers on that episode as well. And one of the special guest fish keepers again will be Jeremy Leighty. And Jeremy Leighty is going to be our final special guest tonight, coming up later on this evening. But right now, we're going to take a trip to South America, and we're going to learn about this week's South American featured fish. It is a beautiful Dorotid catfish that you'll find in the Amazon River. Let's head to South America to learn about this week's South American featured fish. This week I am featuring a South American Dorotid catfish that I have yet to keep. It is literally one of the only Dorotid catfish that eludes me in my fish keeping collection. I've kept Raphael cats. I've kept Niger cats. I've kept Irwini cats. I've kept Pacer Oriestes cats and a couple other Doradids, but I've never kept the Granulosis catfish. So today we're going to be talking about the Granulosis catfish, aka the Granulated catfish. Pterodoras granulosis. This is a very unique looking ripsaw catfish. It's also known as the salt and pepper ripsaw catfish. One day I will get one. This is a species of thorny catfish found in the Parana and Amazon basin, as well as the coastal drainages of Suriname and Guyana. This species is commercially caught for human consumption, as well as being displayed in public aquaria, and they are commonly kept in the aquarium hobby by monster fish keepers. They can grow up to 28 inches in length, and they can weigh up to 14 pounds. Just like its cousins, the Irwini and Niger cats, they have saws on their spines that are very, very sharp. The color pattern of these catfish varies depending upon the location that they originate from, though they are usually a muddy brown color with some darker spots over the body and fins. Adults are darker and the spotting fades from juvenile coloration. There are no scales, but the skin is thick and tough. They also have 23 to 28 shallow lateral plates known as scutes are found along the length of their body. And you don't want any of those scutes touching your bare hands because they will pierce your skin like a knife. And I can guarantee you it will hurt. Their eyes are very small in comparison to the rest of the fish, and they have 3 simple pair of barbels. They have a deep fork caudal fin, which also helps to distinguish this fish from other large doradids like the Oxydoris niger. Pterodoras granulosis is a nocturnal predator. It is an opportunistic omnivore with a wide food spectrum, consuming vascular plants, mollusks, and other food depending on their availability. It has been shown that this species feeds on an introduced species of bivalve and may be able to act as a form of biological pest control. There is evidence that Pterodoras granulosis may be important for seed dispersal, as seeds have been found in their stomachs. Pterodoras granulosis is a migratory species of catfish. From March to July, there is little migration, and any movement is downstream. Right about now, this time of year, the upstream migration begins, intensifying in October and peaking in January. And that is the Pterodoras granulosis, this week's featured South American fish. I, Aqua Alex, will not be surprised if I end up getting a granulated catfish sooner than later. If you have a Pterodoras granulosis, be sure to let me know what you like about them in the comments down below. I personally cannot wait for the opportunity to keep and raise a Pterodoras granulosis. As a matter of fact, I haven't had a Doradid catfish since 2022 when I raised a Oxydoris niger from 2 inches all the way up to 15 inches. So now I think it's time that I get another Doradid catfish, and I think it'll be a Pterodoras granulosis catfish. We've got one more fish species to discuss a little bit later on in the show, and that is going to be this week's saltwater fish, which will be the flame hawkfish. But did you know Oasis Aquatics and I are running a giveaway that started on July 15th and is running all the way through December, the end of December, the end of 2024. And you can win $100 in store credit by entering that giveaway. Here is how you can enter the Oasis Aquatics giveaway. Aqua Alex here with a very special announcement. I am very proud to announce the very first Oasis Aquatics giveaway. This giveaway is known as Find Your Oasis giveaway. The winner will receive $100 in-store credit to be used at oasisaquaticsnj.com. The giveaway will run from July 15th through December 26th, 2024. This giveaway is a great way to support a small mom-and-pop online fish shop and also grow the aquarium hobby at the same time. So, who is going to win $100 in store credit at Oasis Aquatics? We will find out towards the end of the year, at the end of December. Here is how you enter the Find Your Oasis giveaway. Place an order with Oasis Aquatics. Simply go to www.oasisaquaticsnj.com. Check out the stock list and click on the How to Order tab and hit the Send Email button. In the email, state the fish you want, your address with your zip code, and your phone number. Be sure to mention you are entering the Find Your Oasis giveaway. Everyone who enters will be entered into a drawing, and the winner will be announced on the final Friday Live with Aqua Alex of 2024 in late December. Good luck, everyone. So, fish keepers, go get yourself some quality fish today and enter to win $100 in store credit that you can win at the end of December. OasisAquaticsNJ.com. Check out their amazing stock list and place an order today, and you'll automatically be entered into the Find Your Oasis giveaway. I hope to see some entries. Good luck, everyone, and I hope you join this giveaway. All right, so be sure to enter the giveaway and have the chance to win $100 in store credit at OasisAquaticsNJ.com, who is a proud sponsor of not only Friday Live with Aqua Alex, but also a proud sponsor of Aquatic Wetline, Life in the Amazon, Life in Africa, and my YouTube channel in general. Right now, it's time to relive one of my most viral fish keeping videos. This week's flashback brings us back to 2021, when I got some of my favorite fish from an old tropical fish store that was online and also in Boca Raton. This fish store was known as Malone's Monsters or Aquatic Rarities. This unboxing video was from 2021, and in this video, I got some beautiful red hook silver dollars, black bar silver dollars, and a couple of other fish. Let's relive this awesome unboxing that I did on my YouTube channel. Here it is. So, this fish right here, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it, but this is a striped gar chericin. It's actually not a gar, but it's a type of predatory tetra or predatory chericin. It's got the gar body, and it's got teeth like a piranha and other predatory fish that have teeth. So basically, it's South America's version of a needle-nose fish, just a tetra. So they are somewhat of a skittish fish, so they definitely need plants and other stuff in their aquarium. So luckily for him, I have some plastic plants in my aquarium, so he'll feel right at home. All right, so the next fish I want to show you is another type of chericin. This one is a pink-tailed Celsius. I've had a couple of them over the years, and they turn out to be a gorgeous fish. He's a little bit stressed out right now, so he's not really coloring up well. But once he gets acclimated to my aquarium and he's all colored up, he'll be a stunning looking cherison. So I had a friend over the other day, and he told me that I was one of the only fish keepers that specializes in predatory cherisons, because I've got the silver dollars, the myelosoma, the red hooks. I've got one scrumberky that I got from Bob. I've got gold wolfish, the black wolfish, and I think there's a couple other cherisons that I'm forgetting that I have. Alright, so that leaves the last fish besides the silver dollars. And this one is a species that I've also had before. It's a species of shovelnose, but it does not get huge like the tiger shovelnose. This is the Sorabim lima, which will grow to be about 18 inches or so, which will be perfect for my aquarium that I have coming in. The 6'1" 180 or 210, whatever one I can find. But this is a beautiful fish, and they eat tilapia and market shrimp, so definitely going to be a cool addition to my aquarium. I think he'll look good with the vulture cats, the four-line pim, the synodontis, and the other catfish that I have. So I think the best fish for last. So one of my favorite piranha species from South America is the Cerasoma or Cerasomus manueli, the manueli piranha. And I don't like keeping piranhas because they need to be kept by themselves. So the next best thing is this variant of a Strombergi Emperor Blue Hook. I personally don't like getting the Peruvian Emperor Blue Hooks because they don't get that orange coloration. You'll be lucky if they get some faint red spotting as they mature. The only black bars that I will purchase come from Colombia and Brazil. And lucky for me, Bob will import these guys every January, February, March, and April. So when he got his first shipment in, I picked up one because that's all I could afford at the time. And then he brought in some more that had even more orange coloration, and I picked up a couple of them now. I also got another red hook to make it an even count, because right now I have 3 red hooks, so now I'll have 4, and I'll have 3 of these awesome looking black bars. So they are very colored up, even when they are stressed out. So let me show you them, and you can see how beautiful they are looking. If these were from Peru, they would just have the black bar and the blue hook with no coloration whatsoever. And I don't have a problem with that per se. I've raised some Peruvian ones, but it's these ones that come from Colombia and Brazil that I really like. There's also another variant from Brazil that will have the red belly and orange spots and red spots all over their body, which makes it a interesting looking fish, but these are my favorite. So if you were to ask me my absolute favorite large growing cherison, it'd be these 3 fish in the bag right now, plus my wolffish. So I am a very happy fish keeper now that I have the opportunity to have these black bars once again, because it's been about 10 years since I've raised a Colombian Emperor Blue Hook with the orange belly and awesome coloration. Alright, so I'm going to go float these guys and get them acclimated to my aquarium. And I'll show you what they look like in their aquarium. And I can't wait to see them school up with the other Strombergi Silver Dollar that I have. So I want to remind everybody, Sunday, March 6, 2022, my 8-year YouTube anniversary. And I'm fortunate to have Bob from Aquatic Rarities as my first special guest. And I'll be broadcasting from his fish store. All right, that was an awesome viral video from 2022 where I did an amazing unboxing and got some incredible fish. So let's get to our next topic here on this week's episode of Sunday Live. Right now, I want to talk about my top 5 favorite fish from Africa. So, my top 5 favorite fish from Africa are the following. Frontosa cichlids. I really love Frontosa cichlids. I would say that my personal favorite Frontosa would be the blue Moba Frontosa. I also like Pterodoras. I like the Delhaize Pterodoras, the Enlacheri Pterodoras, the Lepaldi biker, and the Senegal biker. Then you've got lungfish. Lungfish are a great, cool oddball. I like the West African lungfish the best. My favorite catfish from Africa would be the Synodontis catfish, Synodontis decoris, Synodontis eruptus, and of course the small schooling Synodontis, the cuckoo Synodontis are very cool. And then of course African cichlids. I love the peacock cichlids. I love the Malawi eye biters, the Malawi gars, the Malawi hawks, the Malawi barracuda. I love some of the beautiful haplochromis that are out there, like the blue dolphin, like the fuscos, and all the other amazing African cichlids. I can't wait to have my African cichlid tank up and running. That's going to be an incredible aquarium. So that's going to be awesome. And it's going to be a great time. So let's get to our final topic, which is going to be my top 5 favorite Asian fish. And my top 5 favorite Asian fish are datnoids, tinfoil barbs, bala sharks, crown knights, and giant gouramis. You can't go wrong with datnoids, tinfoil barbs, bala sharks, clown knights, or giant gourami. They are beautiful fish. So some of the segments that I had scheduled for this week's show, I will do on next week's show, because I don't want the show going until 1 a.m. in the morning, because if I had done some of the other segments tonight, we'd be going until 1 a.m. in the morning, and I'm sure a lot of you have work tomorrow and work earlier in the week. So next week, this coming Friday, we will feature our fish store, Imperial Tropicals, and we will feature the aquarium product Fluval FX6 on this Friday's episode of Friday Live with Aqua Alex Cardinale. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Jeremy Stellhorn will be appearing live on Friday Live with Aqua Alex in the very near future. Let's learn about the saltwater featured fish of the week, and then it's main event time. This week's featured saltwater fish of the week is the flame hawkfish. Let's learn about the flame hawk. It is a species of hawkfish that is native to the tropical reefs of the Pacific Ocean at depths of 1 to 10 meters, which is 3.3 to 32.8 feet. The species is found and very popular in the aquarium trade. It is the only known member of its genus. The flame hawkfish has a very deep, highly compressed body. Its standard length being 2 to 2.5 times its depth, with a moderately long snout. The mouth has an outer row of canine teeth and an inner row of much smaller villiform teeth. The canines are notably larger at the front of the upper jaw and side of the lower jaw, but there are no teeth on the palatine. The flame hawkfish reaches a maximum total length of about 4 inches. The species is bright red with areas of black around the eyes and beneath the dorsal fin. The flame hawkfish is found in the western Pacific, where its range extends as far north as the Ryukyu and Aguaswara Islands of Japan, across the Pacific as far as the Pitcairn Islands, and south to the Great Barrier Reef off Queensland. And that is the flame hawkfish. If you have a saltwater aquarium at home, you definitely should consider adding a flame hawkfish to it. They are a great saltwater fish for smaller aquariums. All right, before we get to our main event, I want to remind everybody in less than 2 weeks, Friday, August 16th, we're going to celebrate my birthday here on my YouTube channel.
Alex Cardinale, your host of today's live stream, will be turning 31 years old very soon. He is inviting you to be part of his 31st birthday celebration. He will be hosting a 31st birthday bash one day after his birthday. It will air live Friday, August 16, 2024, at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. It will be an awesome show and you are all invited. Come one, come all. Come and celebrate Alex's birthday. There will be lots of fun. Alex will show any new tropical fish he got. What cool fish will he get this time? Alex will also give an update on his current aquarium and also future aquarium plans. Plus, Alex will discuss what his goals are for the next year, play some of his favorite music, he will bake some awesome desserts, and so much more. Viewers are encouraged to tune in and have a good time. There will be a few surprises in store as well. A huge announcement will be made. What could it be? Happy 31st birthday, Alex Cardinale. Live Friday, August 16, 2024, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on YouTube channel The Real Alex Cardinale.
All right, and now it's time for our main event. Jeremy Leighty joins me to discuss Dovii cichlids and answer any viewer questions. All right, it's time to welcome Jeremy Leighty to the show. Today, Jeremy and I are going to talk about Dovii cichlids, aka wolf cichlids, and also Jeremy is going to answer your questions. Jeremy, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I am doing great. Happy to have you back on the show again.
Oh, I'm glad to be back. I enjoy conversating with you, and I hope your guests are enjoying it as well. Your followers.
Absolutely. It's always a blast chatting fish with you and learning a lot about cichlids.
Hello?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I try. Yes, I can hear you.
Perfect.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good.
So today we're going to be talking about the Dovii.
What would you like to? Would you prefer we start with the Costa Rican variant, the Nicaraguan strain? Kind of talk about them both at the same time. Do you have a preference for one or the other?
We could talk about them all together.
Okay, that's good. Do you have any questions that you'd like to ask and I can answer them, or do you just want me to kind of give a little brief overview of the experiences and the knowledge that?
I think
we'll start with the Costa Ricans, which are, sure, we're referring to Parachromis dovii. They're found in Costa Rican streams and lakes of Nicaragua. In my experience, which leads me to kind of suspect that they may possibly be either a subspecies or more likely a very closely related two different species. Of course, I'm not an ichthyologist, so that would, need to be left to the actual experts to determine. But, based on physiological differences and size, growth, coloration, stuff like that, leads me to suspect that they're possibly either a subspecies and or possibly even two new species. With the Costa Ricans, in my experience, growing, more elongated, streamlined to allow for the, faster currents of the streams of Costa Rica in which they reside in, as opposed to the, the Nicaraguan variants and strain, which live in the lakes down there. So they grow much larger, they're wider bodied, they're taller. And in my personal preference is for the coloration of the Costa Ricans. I really like that greenish blue they get in the dorsal fin, the anal fin, and the tail. They really just, when they're happy, they sparkle.
So what is the differences between the Costa Rican and Nicaraguan ones?
Well, in my experience of dealing with the two, the Costa Ricans definitely seem to be the more common, at least in my area. They're much more easy to find. Nicaraguans are available, but they're much harder to find. In my experience with the two over the years, the Costa Ricans don't get quite as big. They both definitely have attitude, but it seems like the Nicaraguan version gets much bigger. It's a taller fish. The coloration is slightly different. I understand those are all also possible differences just because of collection and, their strategies of having lived and bred and, generation after generation of different environments, which would lead to those different variations of the two. Because, like I said, in my experience, the Costa Rican version is more of an elongated as opposed to a taller bodied fish, where the Nicaraguan version is a taller variation in relation to the length of its total growth.
That's very cool. So how big does a Dovii get from each area?
I don't know if there's ever been a maximum size determined. I've heard of reports of some that are 28 inches, 30 plus in both of them. So, I don't know if there's ever actually been a record or anything like that determined of maximum growth, but they're definitely contenders for the world's largest, probably top 5 for sure of the largest cichlids, right up there with those ones in Lake Tanganyika that are massive, peacock bass. What else we got? Umbrophorums are gigantics too, so there's definitely up there in size, arguably probably top 5 that I'm aware of.
Yeah, they are a massive species. They are cool, though. They have unique personalities and stuff.
Oh, for sure. Like I was saying, mine is definitely a character. Like I was telling you in the earlier conversation we had, he definitely has people that he likes and dislikes and interacts with everybody slightly differently, depending on how I truly believe that he can recognize faces and may even have memory of them. I don't know if fish actually are capable of that or not, but it sure seems to me that they are.
Yeah, they also have sharp teeth for a cichlid. They're one of the cichlids with sharp teeth.
That's one of the things that makes my grandchildren laugh is when they call my fish Larry. I don't really name my fish, but that one's got a name that the grandchildren gave him of Larry. When he comes out, he likes to, I think because when he flares up, he kind of intimidates them a little bit and they kind of step back. So he goes on this thing where he starts flaring and shaking and biting the glass, and you can hear his teeth clicking against the glass as he's biting it.
Wow. They must be strong.
Yeah, for sure. You know, they definitely pack a wallop. Thankfully, I've never been bitten by that particular fish, and I'm hoping never to get bit by it.
I know it'd be a painful bite.
Oh, every time I see those canines, and you know, some of my friends, how do you clean that out without getting bit? It's like, you know, I raised him since he was in the eggs, so you know, I think he kind of knows that I'm not a threat, so he doesn't do anything aggressive. Like, of all my fish, the ones that I have the most problems with are when I clean my African cichlid tank. Those African peacocks, they like to bite me, and they manage to grab the hairs on my arm, and I think it's sport for them. But they're the ones that bite me the most, is my African peacocks.
Yeah, the African cichlids have their own personalities.
Yeah, you know, I've always never really kept African cichlids till a friend of mine happened to move, and I ended up inheriting the fish that he had because he wasn't ready. You know, he said he wouldn't be setting up a fish room for a while. He had other projects that, you know, he moved from the city out to more of a rural area, so he's trying to set himself up out there before he worries about doing fish tank stuff again. But that's how I ended up with those Africans. And some of my friend bred some, so he gave me a few. So I actually enjoy it. My wife's really liking the colors of them because her favorite color is blue, and mostly what I have are blue cichlids in there, some Alis, some, you know, deep water haps.
That's very cool. I'm sure she'll like the blue morai dolphin cichlids. They're very nice.
Yeah, I don't have any of those right now, but yeah. I'm sure she would like those. Some friends of mine are breeding those and the albinos. They have some that they're showing like it must be like a double recessive gene, because the coloration isn't quite like a normal albino where it's all white. These have a bluish sheen to them. It's real. It reminds me of the inside of a seashell. But maybe we should probably get back. We should probably get back on task of the Dovii topic. I got a little sidetracked there. Sorry about that.
That's okay. So what tank size would you recommend for a Dovii?
The biggest that one's budget can definitely afford would be my suggestion. You know, bigger is always better. You know, you can always start with a smaller tank. I wouldn't necessarily suggest that. You know, always go for if that's your plan is to house a Dovii, then definitely, you know, get the largest tank that your budget can afford, and, you know, go from there. Because, you know, they definitely have the potential to grow very, very large.
How fast is their growth rate?
You know, I think, again, you know, that comes down to how often that the person feeds them, and, you know, how high in protein the foods are that they're feeding. Because, you know, if you feed 2-3 times a day and you're feeding a high protein food, their growth rate's definitely going to be faster. You know, but the way that I feed mine is, you know, when I first started in the hobby, a gentleman who took me under his wing and, you know, kind of helped me out. He owned a pet store. I would help him out in exchange for, you know, fish and fish food, equipment, stuff like that. I would help him out at his store. Well, the way he told me he feeds stuff like that, predators, and, you know, just really any of the fish, is, you know, feed one day and then you skip a day. Feed the following day, skip 2 days. Feed, then skip another 2 days. feed, go back to one, and, you know, just keep skipping a day or two here and there, because, you know, his logic behind doing that with predators was, you know, much like any predator, every hunt's not going to be successful. So there's times that they're going to go for longer periods without eating. And, you know, that's part of their physiology, which is, you know, eat larger meals when they have the opportunity, because essentially they're, you know, being predatory and stuff like that. They're typically going to eat a larger meal than a fish like, say, a goldfish that's, or a, you know, a algae grazer that's constantly grazing on algae all day long. You know, their physiology is totally going to be different, because, you know, they tend to eat a larger meal at one time. That meal is going to take time to digest. There's bones, there's scales, all that stuff that has to be, you know, go through the digestive tract, as opposed to other fish that are grazing on plants and algae and have a completely different physiology as far as, you know, their digestive tracts.
That's true. So what do you recommend feeding Dovies?
I personally shy away from, you know, I know some people who, you know, they utilize live foods like, you know, feeder fish, stuff like that. I personally don't do that anymore, mainly because I've had a bad experience back when I kept, when snakeheads and stuff like that were still legal. I had some rare fish and had gotten a hold of some feeders that ended up having some diseases, and I lost all them fish. And, you know, with them being banned, now I can never own them again. And it's like, you know, is it really worth it when there's high quality pellets, there's frozen food options, there's other live foods that are just as good, like earthworms. You know, I know people who utilize large cockroaches, because some of my friends also breed reptiles and stuff like that. So they usually have a supply of like dubia roaches, crickets, earthworms, you know, even sometimes those big tomato hornworms for larger specimens. And, you know, stuff like that seems to work very well for them without posing as much of a risk factor as utilized by fish, which is where, you know, I like to, my staple is a pellet from a local friend of mine here, who's also, he sells at Ohio Cichlid Association and some of the stuff like that. I believe he's online. Is it okay if I give his name?
Absolutely.
Of the company?
Absolutely.
The fish food product that I use is Neptune Aquatics, from a gentleman named John Patakos. He's a local gentleman here in Ohio, and, you know, John produces, he carries flakes, pellets, sticks, the whole 9 yards. And ever since I met John and been using his products in my fish room, my fish are, you know, the health of them and coloration is just so much better than commercial products that I was using. And I think a lot of that's got to do with, you know, not to say anything bad about commercial products, but I'm not a big fan of ash binders and stuff like that that aren't natural for the fish. And I try to stay away from products that are full of like wheat germ and all those different things that would be completely unnatural for fish to ever eat, as opposed to more of a, you know, fish-based and insect-based food, which, you know, John, his products, they don't use ash binders and stuff like that. So, you know, they're a high quality product that, you know, it's, in my, I love it. So, and I also use your fish stuff products, but last time I went to order, they didn't have pellets available, so I kind of shunned away from that order at that time. So next time I need pellets, I'll probably look into them as well too, because your fish stuff products, they have some excellent color enhancing products.
Yeah, they're a great company. I've ordered from them before. Your fish stuff. I love
Oh,
their
okay.
food.
Yeah, oh yeah, their fish foods are great. I like that one they call Green Supreme. My fish really like that one too.
I believe they even have earthworm flakes and pellets.
Yeah, yes. A lot of companies are using those now. Where some of the I like to with Neptune Aquatics, John's products. He carries one that it's a mixture of all his different flakes. So it's got earthworm, it's got bloodworm flakes, it's got vegetable flake, which are algae bait, spirulina. There's blackworm flake. I think he's even got blackworm sticks. I didn't intend to, even think about that, or I would have dug out the order form. But John's got a ton of different products that my fish really, really love.
I'm definitely going to try Neptune Aquatics to get some good pellets.
Yeah, he's his largest pellet that he currently carries is a 6 millimeter pellet, which all my fish love that one. I also use that one for my turtles, and my snapping turtles love it. My northern diamondback likes it, and even my little razorback musk, he can swallow them. So that's what I use.
So, have you ever heard of a red Dovii?
Yeah, matter of fact, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see him or not. I got a small red one. Did he come up on camera?
Here he is. Yeah, I see him. He's very beautiful.
Yeah. He come to me through a friend who had acquired it, and it didn't quite work out in his fish room, and he had asked if I would be interested in it, and I said sure. So now he's finally to the point. When I first got the fish, it was very skittish because when he had acquired the fish, it was pretty much same size, and he keeps hard Central Americans himself. He stuck it in his, I believe his tank's at 280. Anyhow, he stuck it in with there, and the other fish, probably because they had already been used to the tank, they started beating on the newcomer, and that's when he asked me if I would be interested in it because it wasn't doing so well in his tank with the other fish. So I acquired this thing and have been working with it for the past 3 weeks to a month that I've had it, and it's finally now to the point that it'll come without getting real skittish and shooting all over the tank, and he'll come up when I feed him pellets. So he's doing pretty good. He's also, when I first got him, he had a much more black, so he's been peeling.
That's awesome. So, what is a red Dovii?
Now, when they first came on the scene, when I first learned of them, I thought that they were just like a tank bred strain that somebody had found some albinos in a group and they grew them out and eventually started breeding them. But there was some videos posted that kind of changed my mind about that. I believe it was Chris Biggs had posted a video of them from Dan Sharifi's place, and Dan went on to discuss how these are actually a naturally occurring variant that made it to the hobby. So apparently these are found out in natural world, probably not quite as common because they're would stick out a lot more than say a normal colored one that you would see, the greens, and with this bright gold color, I would think they would be much easier pickings for predatory birds and animals that live in those parts of the world. Probably even people, because they're on the menu down in those parts of the world as well. The people living in those areas fish for them, and other large Central Americans as well.
I know, it's a shame.
Well, it is what it is. You know, they're just trying to survive like the rest of us.
That's true.
And it is, you know, if it's done correctly, it's definitely a sustainable product, because, you know, if they were to dig out ponds and farm them in the ponds as opposed to tilapia, it would be much more ecologically sound in Central America than it would be to do tilapia to feed those people. And, you know, I've had Dovii breed in my tanks that as small as 2 inches. They're kind of like convicts, you know, as once they hit 6 months old to a year, they're on.
That's what it sounds like. They love to breed just like convicts.
Oh yeah, I've literally had 4 generations of fish in one tank for a while, and you know that generation was small grow outs that I had, and they just kept growing out and growing out, and I'd find, just like when I was raising convicts all the time, I might have 10 different spawns in the tank, and they were all, none of the fish bigger than 2 inches. You know, they'd find their own little cubby hole or flower pot, whatever. And before long, I got a bunch of little fish that are having more little fish.
Sometimes they get more action than their owners.
Yeah, it happens. It happens.
So are Dovii extremely popular in your area?
You know, much like anything, they kind of went through their phases of popularity, and there are a lot of dedicated people who do keep Central Americans and a wider range of fish. But I would say probably 15 years ago, 10 to 15 years ago, was the peak of their popularity. It seemed like everybody had them and everybody was breeding them, and there was, even at that time, there was even some quite a few of the Nicaraguan ones going around. I haven't really seen any Nicaraguans in quite some time.
Nice.
At least not at any of the auctions.
I've only seen Dovies around here once or twice, surprisingly.
Yeah, that's interesting. I would think they would be just as popular down there. Or is your area more of like what seems to be the most popular here is the Malawi cichlids, the African peacocks and mabunas?
Yeah, they're very popular here too.
Yeah, so yeah, it seems like as soon as the African cichlid craze hit, Central Americans kind of went by the wayside, it seems, you know, with a lot of dedicated people still keeping them, but you know, the vast majority seem to prefer the Africans. I'm wondering if it's maybe because they're a little smaller and not quite, and at least not as aggressive as some of the big Central Americans can get.
That's true. But their price has gone up a lot recently for Africans, I've noticed.
Yeah, you know, it's which is kind of surprising to me, because it seems like everybody's got them, people are breeding them, and the prices where I would have expected them to come down, they've stayed the same, or even, like you've mentioned, increased in value, which is good for the hobby, I suppose, and good for the breeders.
That's true. So one of my viewers has a great question for you, and
okay,
he wants to know what are some fish species. He wants to know what are some fish species you don't think you'll ever keep again.
What are some fish species I don't think that I'll ever keep again? I'll probably never keep piranhas again, mainly because, you know, I've been beat up, not necessarily physically beat up, but, you know, this has kind of upset some people in the past. To me, piranhas are just extremely boring, So, they were taking up space that my Central Americans could fill. So, to me, the Central Americans won out. And if they were still alive, or I'm sorry, not alive, if they were still legal, I would probably keep pretty much nothing but Central Americans and Channa species. Snakeheads are my all-around favorites. So if they were still legal, I would have nothing but pretty much snakeheads.
I agree with you.
But
Piranhas
mainly,
are actually kind of boring.
yeah, I've had red bellies, I've had whites. Of all the piranhas that I've kept, the one that I actually liked the most was the wimple piranha. I happened to find one of those that was mixed in with some fish. It was real small when I found it, and it grew to be a decent size. And as it grew, that the dorsal and the anal fins just kept growing and growing and growing, and they're really nice looking fish. And piranhas are nice looking fish too. That's just my preference, is to keep other things. So piranhas would probably be one. I'll probably never keep a pacu again. I had those in the past. Unless snakeheads become legal, obviously I'll never keep those again. What are some other fish that I wouldn't keep? Probably mollies. Those just didn't seem to do well for me. I'm not sure if I was using the wrong diet, or maybe my water chemistry wasn't quite right, which is surprising because my African cichlids and my Central Americans do good. So I'm not sure why mollies didn't do good in my experience, but I'll probably never keep mollies again either.
I heard that wimple piranhas can actually have tank mates. I've seen people keeping them with cichlids and such.
Really?
It's interesting.
Yeah, very interesting, because I had always heard that they were scale eaters, where they like sneak attack their tank mates and bite the scales off or eat the fins. So that's surprising to hear that they could be kept with.
And that was my wonderful interview with Jeremy Leighty. Thank you, Jeremy, for being a great guest once again and joining me to talk about Dovii cichlids. Jeremy will be back in a couple of weeks on August 17th on our next episode of Sunday Live with Aqua Alex. It's been an incredible night so far. We're getting ready to wrap up this show, but here's what you can expect this Friday on the return of Friday Live with Aqua Alex. Friday Live with Aqua Alex Cardinale returns live this Friday, August 9th, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, right here on YouTube channel, The Real Alex Cardinale. Aqua Alex is throwing down the challenge. Which fish keeper will answer the challenge? Any fish keeper can. Any fish keeper is welcome to be our special guest. All you got to do is tune in this Friday and click the link in the YouTube chat and chat tropical fish with Aqua Alex. Aqua Alex's featured fish will be the blue Aqua cichlid. The featured South American fish of the week will be the pink-tailed chalceus. The saltwater fish of the week will be the dog-faced upper. Aqua Alex will have a double dose of amazing fish. See Aqua Alex's personal great catfish species that he keeps. See his line with nose and his 4-line Pictus catfish. Aqua Alexa will have information on catfish. The featured fish store will be tangled up in cichlids. There will be a Oasis Aquatics featured fish. All that and more live this Friday, August 9th, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific, right here on YouTube channel, The Real Alex Cardinale. See you there, fish keepers. And that's going to conclude the festivities for tonight's episode of Sunday Live with Aqua Alex. Special thanks to Jeremy for being a great guest, and special thanks for all my viewers for being a great audience. Have a great rest of your Sunday evening, and have a great week, everyone. I'll see you this Friday for the return of Friday Live with Aqua Alex. Good night from Green Acres, Florida. I'm Aqua Alex, wishing you a pleasant adieu. Good night, everybody.
Thank you for watching this live stream on the Real Alex Cardinale YouTube channel. We hope you enjoyed today's live stream. Whether you learned about tropical fish, a crime, an American tragedy, or had fun on Saturday Live, your view is what keeps the great content coming. Thank you for supporting Alex Cardinale and watching this live. It's hard to believe we are quickly approaching 11 years together. Get ready for a big 11-year celebration taking place in New Jersey. Special thanks to our sponsor Oasis Aquatics for helping our channel grow. Looking for quality tropical fish? Check out oasisaquaticsnj.com. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Share this video on social media and let your friends view too. Remember, sharing is caring. Subscribe for more awesome videos. Thanks for watching and stay legendary. Goodbye for now. We will see you on the next live.